Hello YouTube, and welcome to the first episode of Let's Play Castle Crashers. This game is pretty fun, I guess. I got it off Steam when it was on sale, because it was like, oh hey, 75% off sale, how could you pass up that kind of offer? Anyways, this is a very hack and slash heavy game, and there is multiplayer available, but I don't know anyone that plays this game, at least not on PC. I know one of my cousins played it on the PS3 or something. But anyways, on that note, if you play this game on the PC and you would like to be in one of these videos, then yeah, sure, just send me a private message on YouTube and with your like Steam account name or something, and I'll try to add you or whatever. Anyways, this is the very beginning. Some dude came in and had an arrow, and I don't know why the music stops. Okay. Talk to this person, talks about emerald orbs, blah blah blah, and he talks about items, and he gives me I'm not sure if he gives me a health potion or if I just start off with a health potion. Also, I'm just talking to these people for no reason. I think this game originated on the Xbox, so that's why a lot of the controls are, like, they tell you the controls as if it's an Xbox game, even though I'm playing this on the computer. I don't know how, or if I can switch it so that it'll tell me the controls in computer language, which actually made this game a little bit harder because it took me a while to figure out what the controls were. But now it should be good, and I can tell already it's going a bit slower because I'm, recording it rather than just playing it. Yeah. I don't know if I should actually do anything about that. I'll try to make it go faster next time. But you have heavy attacks and light attacks. Just light attacks like this, and wow, I feel like I'm playing in slow motion. It's so weird. I've found that the most efficient way that at least I can play or fight these people is just to jump, use my heavy attack to slam them in the air, and then just use my light attack to just keep comboing them or juggling them in the air, and just do a bunch of damage while I'm falling. That just seems really effective to me. And in this game there's a lot of times where it's just, okay, you're moving for 2 seconds and oh, stop, you gotta fight these 10 million enemies. And then, okay, move for a couple more seconds and oh wait, stop, you have to fight some more. And it gets a little frustrating because of just how tedious it is. But yeah, it's okay. Because of these little moments when the 4 princesses are being kidnapped, and you have to go follow them and rescue them, and oh, look at that purple orange one with its face being dragged on the floor. Alright, so let's move on, and then, move for like 10 seconds, and then I have to stop and fight some more people. So, alright. And then sometimes, if you hit them when they're a little too far away, like if you bounce them in the air, then you can't really combo them as well. But still, I mean, just floating through the air, just destroying everyone in front of me. Well, not really destroying them, but, and also, you can use magic by holding left shift and then pressing whatever button you need to. When you level up in this game, you can upgrade your attack, magic, defense, or agility. And if you keep increasing your magic, then you get different spells. Which I think it would have been nice to be able to use the different spells without having to upgrade them. Because it's really important which skills you upgrade. Now, let's see. Wow, that one only doesn't help. The way you exchange weapons in this game is that if you see a weapon on the floor, you just walk up to it, and then it will give it to you and drop your other weapon. And then you can look at the weapon that you dropped to see if it's better or not, and then switch if you want to switch it for it. So it's a little complicated, I guess. Makes it a little hard to realize what sword you're actually using because of how it works, I guess. But I like it. And now a new combo, which is the jumping thing. So A apparently is spacebar to jump. And I still just like how you can float here for a long time, just attacking everybody. Yeah, also, the actual A on the keyboard will use your items. And let's see, that gives me 1 less attack and +1 agility, which I don't need. This gives me a potion for 12 money, coin, gold, dollar things. Alright, so that's the beginning of the first little intro part. As you can see, you can increase these. Speed and archery. Normally, in most games, I would love to just upgrade agility all the way, but in this game it's a little more important to have defense and strength. I've tried going like magic and defense, but strength and defense is a little better. So that's the first little level. I'll play a little more for this first episode. And I was about to say, oh hey, it looks like it's going a little faster, but then it just slowed right back down. But it says 30 frames per second, so that's pretty good, I suppose. Better than like my Bloons Tower Defense games. So whenever I record that, it always drops down to like 15 frames per second. But this is a solid 30. That's interesting. I wonder if I could actually increase that, but I don't know if that would make it slow down more. It's strange. I don't know. I feel like testing that now, but I'll save that for another episode or off screen or something. So yeah, I like that in this level you can see that there's like this whole war going on in the background, almost like a Lord of the Rings type of thing. And even though this has nothing to do with the game, I'm gonna have a little talk about Lord of the Rings. I'm not like a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I've seen the movies and I like it. And I know that a lot of people really like how in the first trilogy of movies they used actual actors for all of the orcs and like all of those scenes with the massive armies. Like they apparently had that many extras to play those parts, and they had such a great costume design and like director or something that you could tell different factions of orcs based on what armor they had, and how some orcs had really good armor while other orcs just had hand-me-down scavenged armor and all this stuff, which like they put so much detail into it, and it's so much that hardly anyone would notice, but the makers of the movie notice and that kind of thing. And I applaud them for that. I'm sure that took a lot of work and was very rewarding to them. But then in the newer Lord of the Rings movies, The Hobbit, that a lot of it was just CGI, and people were complaining like, oh, well, they didn't put as much work into it and all this stuff. Well, okay, have they ever animated things? Like, sure, it is a lot of work to do all of that live-action orc armor and all that. But animation is pretty hard too, and it takes a long time, and it's expensive, and it looks, to me, just as good. I don't mind if they have a CGI army or a live-action army. As long as it still looks good, they still put in some work, and, you know, it still fits. Like, it's fine if they want to use CGI. I really doubt the Lord of the Rings movies would have made more, or The Hobbit would have made more money, or at least a significant amount more, if they had used live action. So that little rant has nothing to do with this game. Well, slightly, because there's, you know, an army in the background. Clearly it's not live action. But yeah, I still think it's cool. And the money that you collect from those rupees or the coins and everything, talking about the game now, obviously, I really only use it to either buy health potions, or there's a few other items in the game that you can buy, or extra weapons, but I really don't need any extra weapons. Okay, this part right here, there's an enemy that comes running out, and I don't know if I'm able to hit him, or if I'm just missing, or what, but that always frustrates me whenever I play this part. I always feel like I should be able to hit him, but I never do. Also, if you notice, there was like a ram thing in the background that just went by. Not like an actual ram, but like a wooden ram, I guess. It'll come up later. Spoiler alert, I guess. Anyways, I still feel like I'm going in slow motion. But it's 30 frames per second, so I guess I normally play at 60 frames or something. I don't know. it looked like that guy just fell over and died for no reason. Unless that was the one that I threw, and the other one that went flying was the one that he got hit with. There's this guy trying to give him CPR, but sadly he's already dead, and it's sad if I cared about the characters, but they're just little NPCs. And oh look, there's that wooden metallic ram that I was talking about, with cannons, because why not add cannons? Alright, so this is the first little mini-boss, and I'm just going to use the same strategy that I used on the other guys, and obviously you can see that he's shooting bombs, and one strategy that I would use for avoiding the bombs is that obviously he's shooting one first, and they all fall at the same rate, so you don't have to move out of the way for the others until the first one hits, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, if he's aiming where you're... If you move away from where he's aiming so that the first shot will land somewhere else while you're in front of the ram, then you don't need to move away until that first shot drops. But obviously, if you're always right in front of it, then that strategy doesn't work at all. So yeah, just waiting. I'm almost there. I don't know if he actually gets any stronger or anything the closer he is to death, but it's almost dead. And there you go. Now, I barely even talked about magic at all, but I don't use it that often because, for one, when I don't upgrade it, it's not that powerful, but also it has a small hitbox. Like, you have to be right in front of the enemy for it to hit him, and because I'm blue, I use ice magic. The other colored knights, castle crasher people, they have different elemental types of magic. The green is poison, the red is fire, actually no, the red is lightning, the orange is fire, and then blue is ice. Now I also have the 2 DLC characters, which is the pink knight and the purple knight, which I think is also called the blacksmith. I'm not sure. I probably should have at least shown them, or played as the purple one or something because he looks cooler, but I like the color blue, so I prefer this guy. What was it? New combo, sprint, and then press X or Y, which is actually press D or W. If I'm to sprint, I just run in a straight line for a long enough time, and then my light attack, which is a D, does that stab, and then my heavy attack is that dive, which is pretty useful sometimes, but I don't use it that often, because this whole floaty, jumpy thing is also very helpful. Alright, so yeah, because this feels like it's going in slow motion, it's taking quite a bit to get through. Alright, let's go. And I would like to think that I could just walk by these sleeping guys, but you actually do have to defeat them before you can move on. And I like how it takes a while for them to wake up, even when I'm around here slamming their friends into the ground. I just toss them. Alright. Throw the sleeping man. Yeah. Also, the proportions that they have, like their head-to-body ratio size thing, it almost reminds me of, like, Beautiful Joe, if you've ever played that game or seen the TV show or something. I actually really like that game, but I don't know why, but I sold it back for some reason. Like, sold it back to GameStop. I really like that game, and I want to, like, order it again, like, off eBay or probably Amazon, really. Just because I'd like to play that game again. It was really fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I think that'd be a pretty cool Let's Play. But, obviously I don't have the game. I really do. Anyways, what was I saying? Right. I'd like to play Beautiful Joe as a Let's Play. But again, I'd have to go and actually get the game, which would, of course, cost money, like all things in life. Well, not all things, but most things. Man, now it's starting to lag. Like, it's getting less than 30 frames per second, which I'm always afraid that means I'm running out of room on the computer, but I shouldn't be running out of room. I should be good. But the frames are going so slow. Why? Why does this happen to me? I should look into that. If any of you know, like, if you recorded with Fraps or something and you know why it's messing up like that, then please let me know, and especially if it's something I can fix. If it's not something I fix, then oh well, I'll just have to do something. Wow, it is really stopping. Okay. Well then, I'm just gonna wait. So I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna wait, see if it picks up. Which I don't know if that's a good idea. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Alright, I'm back now. So, let's see if this works. I increased the recording frame rate thingy to 60 frames a second. Now it says it's recording about 40, so that's good. It looks like it's moving in normal speed now. Alright. Dodge that arrow. Don't want to take an arrow to the knee, which is overused, I suppose. And I remember hearing that apparently I took an arrow to the knee was a phrase that meant that you were getting married, but then I also later heard that that was just a rumor or something. That's not true. And this is the first boss, and no, that is not the first boss. This is the first boss, which is quite a bit bigger than you would have expected, or at least that I expected. So this guy I cannot actually fight exactly the same way as I did the ram, because a lot of his moves will stop me from attacking him. And like that punch will obviously send me flying, because that is a massive fist. I think his finger is bigger than my entire body. So yeah. And trying not to attack him for too long at once, because I don't want him to hit me, because he doesn't do like massive amounts of damage, and crowd getting in the way. He doesn't do massive amounts of damage, but it does knock me back and stop me from attacking. And oh no, the princesses are being kidnapped again, and for some reason they just leave the red princess for no reason. And always gotta dodge that, so that's a pretty powerful move. And it's always good to dodge forward or back rather than left and right, because a lot of his attacks have a long reach in front of him. Like that one, it reaches almost all the way across the screen. And man, I'm almost done already. And then of course there's this one. That attack, I mean. So that's always nice. And I'm really glad that friendly fire's on, apparently. That was a reference to something. Anyways, I'm glad that he can attack his own enemies, or his own allies, my enemies. I don't think he cares about them. And giant treasure chest that technically gets the kill. It stole. It stole. KS? I don't know. You just gather all the money. And if you're playing this with multiplayer, then it would be like a race. And then here, you'd actually have to fight each other. But then that just happens, which makes no sense because I'm wearing a helmet. I mean, come on. So I killed 56 enemies, and I gathered 131 gold, and I got 662 experience, which is always nice. And alright, come on. So I leveled up twice, so I can now upgrade those both twice. So yeah, that's it for this first episode. I can choose to go to either place, but I already know from past experience I have to go here, because there's nothing I can do here yet. So that's it for this episode, like I said. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the whole slowing down thing. I'm just going to keep it at 60 frames, and if it ever stops like that again, I'm just going to stop and pause and do all that stuff. Alright. Just as a quick, in case anyone's still listening, the music I put at the beginning and end of this video is by my brother Robert. You can buy his music with the links in the description. If you want to play this game with me, you can send me a private message on YouTube. And other than that, like I've already said like 3 times already, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.